What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Central. And the Knicks lose 79-73. Game 64 of the regular season. Yes, you heard me right. The Knicks had 73 points in this game total. Terrible. Just flat out terrible. There's nothing good to take away from this game. There's nothing good because it's not like they held the Sixers to 79 points because they played stellar defense. No, Maxey was out of the lineup. No Embiid, obviously, was playing because he's out for the season, and that's the performance you give. And the Sixers, they weren't hitting any shots. Don't give credit to the Knicks playing defense. You know, there were some early plays they had, like Precious Achiuwa had a couple good blocks. You had a couple of good plays from Hartenstein too, defensively, but this was not the Knicks playing defense that held them off of the score sheet mostly. This was because the Knicks flat out played terrible basketball. This is because the Sixers played terrible basketball too. And the Knicks had their star player underachieve. He had me ready to walk like R2-D2 last game, and then he follows it up with this stinker. And I don't want to get too mad at Brunson. He's been consistent all year. He's been good all year. But I don't understand how he follows up that special performance he had last game with that type of effort. Terrible. It took him until I think the third quarter to hit his first three of the game, and it was late in the third too. Unacceptable performance. Before we jump into the recap more, leave a like if you do enjoy, subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Knick fans, and turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live. Terrible. Just again, the first quarter, nightmare, but somehow they were in the game. Hart with a terrible start to the game. The ball movement was sloppy from the rip, and that would be a continuation, which, by the way, the Knicks in this game had 19 turnovers, and they made 26 field goals out of 80. They had almost just as many turnovers as they did field goals in this game. Just pathetic. Just laughable. Comedy pathetic. I mean, they had more turnovers than threes in this game, and they attempted 43s. Dante DiVincenzo went 3 for 12 from downtown. Brunson went 1 for 9. After both of them, especially Brunson, had a great game. Don't understand why Deuce McBride didn't get a lot of minutes. He didn't do anything in the minutes he got, but I don't understand how you don't give him a little bit of extra minutes in this game with the way that Brunson played it. I just don't understand, and with the way DiVincenzo played in this game. But like I said, the first quarter, brutal. Just brutal. The Sixers were like 0 for 6 from downtown too. So again, this was a good defense. This was just neither team being able to hit shots. Just a terrible quarter for the Knicks offensively. The second quarter rolls along, and the Knicks, I mean, they had a lot of possession because they were getting every freaking board. There was a possession they had where Hart had like 2 or 3 rebounds in the same one, and nobody was able to get a bucket. Burks and Bogdanovic, by the way, have I mentioned that they stink? Because I don't know if I've said it enough, but they stink. You had the Sixers who went on a 14-2 run in that quarter. Ultimately, probably what costed the Knicks this game, as Tibbs decides to trot out a unit of, I think it was Burks, Deuce, Boyan, and then it was Sims and Achiuwa, I want to say. I don't understand the way Tibbs is running the rotation right now. I don't understand it. The Knicks were getting a bunch of rebounds, but their defense, I mean, they had like a good end of the quarter where DiVincenzo had a couple steals at the end, and their defense led to offense, but then they were just turning the ball over again. Shot selection, piss poor. You get to the third quarter, Brunson finally hits his 3 and starts to be a bit noticeable. Then after that, he disappeared. Him and Devo had a decent third quarter, and then they disappeared again. So that's not new. Well, I shouldn't say that's not new because they have performed all year long, the two of them, but in terms of the way that it was tonight, wasn't new. Then the Sixers, towards the end of the quarter, they really started to find their game. They were the team that was better in transition. The Knicks had no answer, and they were the quicker team. And anytime the Knicks did have a chance to get some fast break points and look good in transition, The Sixers transition defense was a lot better than the Knicks transition offense. And then at the end of the fourth quarter was just terrible too. The end of the game, no clutch gene from this team at all. Zero clutch gene. You got the Sixers missing free throws. The Knicks need a 3 to end the game. They don't do it. You get a steal from Dante DiVincenzo, gives the ball to Brunson. Brunson can't control it. It goes out of bounds. Just flat out sloppy basketball all night long. And I don't know what to say, because you're not getting a spark from the bench from Burks and Bogdanovic, who are supposed to be spark plugs and bucket getters. They're not doing that at all. They're terrible. They're freaking terrible. Listen, Bogdanovic, I will give him a little bit of a pass. He was efficient with his shooting when he did get shots, but he was visibly just brutal out there tonight. Burks, I mean, he's just flat out disgusting. But how about that one play he had in the second quarter where he runs under the basket, goes to the corner, and then he like chucks it to Narnia? I don't understand. I don't understand. Burks was just brutal. Achua didn't have as big of a game either. And listen, he wasn't the worst because there was a lot bigger issues, but he actually had a 3 in this game, which was funny. But Hart, visibly bad. Hartenstein, not good. I mean, nobody was good. You can't even say anyone was good. And then Brunson and DiVincenzo underachieving is what lost the game. But there are some nights where you need your bench to step up and to perform when your starters are not performing. And tonight was a night where the Knicks did not have their bench performing. And it's been a problem for weeks now since the injury bug. And how many nights am I screaming my head off talking about this? That the bench is losing them games. And it's like, oh, well, let's wait for them to get healthy. Let's wait. But at the same time, that doesn't solve the fact that Bogdanovic is still in the rotation. Burks might be still in the rotation somehow when he shouldn't even be in the rotation right now. I don't know. And then Sims is going to be in the rotation still for a bit because Mitch is probably the furthest away from returning out of anybody else in this Knicks lineup. But I don't know. Just got to be way better, and they play the Sixers again next. This was a much-needed win, and they fumbled this one badly, because if they won this game, this would keep them in the 4th seed, but it would give them a bigger gap between them and the Sixers. Now, Sixers could end up closing in. Orlando's been on fire, which the Knicks did beat them, but still, just infuriating, just frustrating the way that they played last game, and then, you know, you get this stinker of a performance. It is what it is, all right? It is what it is. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching, though. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload or go live. And I will see you guys in the next one.